All right, let's get it. What's up with the YouTube? We back with another video. I was trying to find a few more videos before we lay down. We've been on the grind today. I ain't gonna lie. It's 3 a.m. in the morning, and I still can't find a way to get away from this PC. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I'm saying? Can't find a way away from this PC. So we're gonna grind until we get tired. We're gonna continue to drop videos, content, upload until we, you know what I'm saying, get tired of doing it. Outside of that, like I said, I don't know what's going on between CJ and Rakai. I haven't seen nothing on it. I think I might have scrolled past a little video or something, but then I don't think I watched it or clicked on it yet. But this is my first insight on what's going on between them. So I don't even know what they beefing about, what happened, if it was a clip. I don't know what happened at all. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, it's gonna be a little first reaction video on it. I might do a few more just to get a better insight on what's going on between them. So be on the lookout for those too. Like, subscribe, turn on post notice for more content. Other than that, we're gonna go ahead and get into this video. Let's get it.
CJ, what you watching? No. We don't watch Rakai. No, bro.
CJ so cool. I used to watch CJ cool. Man.
He gotta
First
be
of all, CJ so
trolling. He
cool.
turned that on his.
And guess
he
what?
put that on his phone.
If I see Leon catch it like I'm a. And that's why you're. Yo,
He's trolling.
Malongo, Blanco.
I know why y'all here. Y'all think I'm finna go Rakai here, And the old me would have destroyed him. I'm not even gonna lie. I would have clowned him so bad and made so much money off of him, and I would have laughed as he reacted emotionally. But when I watched his video, I did not see an enemy. I just saw a kid who grew up watching CJ So Cool and clearly acts just like CJ So Cool. And that changed everything, because this ain't about Rakai. This is about CJ So Cool. And before I speak on anybody else's child, I need to take accountability for my own. Kamari, there's something I never fully said out loud. And today, I'm saying it. So if you came for drama, trust me. I left my newborn child at home alone, just so I could drive off chasing her mom through the city. Yeah, I know, that's how this story starts.
Why this nigga lips
Not as a good
glossy,
father,
gang? Why he got
not
lip
as a
with
man
D?
either.
He
Just
got
a
lip
young dude
gloss
making
on?
one of
Is
the
he
worst
cool?
decisions of his life.
Hello?
My daughter was asleep, very small, only a couple
Gang, what
months
you
old
got
at the time.
going on?
Instead
Your
of me
lips
sitting there
greasy as
protecting her,
hell.
I was in my feelings on Facebook, looking at her mama,
He the
stalking her
most
page, watching her go
he
out, having
the
a
most
good time,
dark skinned,
partying
light
all night.
skinned
Something in
motherfucker
me just
ever, gang.
snapped,
Like,
man. And it
what
wasn't
you
even because I
got
was in
going
love with her,
on?
because at the time we had already broken up. The truth is, I did it because I couldn't control her. So yeah, I left my kid at home by herself, and then I called myself building a little fort around it, as if that was supposed to protect her from falling off the bed, busting her head. Then I got in my SpongeBob car and went looking for Nike. After driving around for about 10 or 20 minutes, of course I finally found her. I knew exactly where she was at. Gary is small. We all go to the same places. But when I found her, it was crazy because I'm yelling out the car like, "Hey, where you going?" She gonna yell back at me talking about some, she not in the car with me and she ain't in the club with you. She at home, sleep, where you need to be. She started yelling at me, talking about I better go home with my kid. I told her, you better go home too. So me thinking she finna go home, I watched her get in the car with her girls. And of course, to my surprise, what she do? Get in the car and jet across US 30 and go right to Denny's. After I just told her to go home, after she just saw I wasn't leaving until she went home. I drive SpongeBob right across the street and I hop out the car. Now I just have to remember that I just did some crazy stuff, shooting out the car right by the police. Now why I do this is because there was a group of people trying to rob me, but this ain't about that. But the reason why I didn't go inside Denny's and make a bigger fool of myself was strictly because of that story. So anyway, I went home, and then when I got there, I found Kamari still asleep in the same spot. Thank God. The whole time I'm thinking,
damn, that was close, bro. I'm not a good dad. I'm starting this off wrong.
I must admit, I had only been a dad for 2 months, and this was probably the first time Nike actually told me to watch my kid while she went out to party. Now, I ain't gonna lie, she had me all in my feelings, bro, because it wasn't enough that you just asked me to watch the kid as if you had something important to do. But the fact that you went to the club, and then I caught you, and then you went to Denny's, nah, that made it worse. But that didn't make it as worse as it's about to get. When I got home and realized she wasn't coming, I get back on Facebook and see her at a house party, bro. So I do the same thing I already did. I bundle Kamari back up, I pushed her closer to the wall, and make sure she didn't fall off and bust her head. So
I'm
now I go driving
confused.
from
What
another
do this
place
got to
to
do
another
with
place,
Rakai,
to
though?
another place.
I'm
all
trying
through
to
the city
figure out
looking for
what's
Nike.
going on
And
between
finally,
him and
I found her,
Rakai.
but again, at a gas station on
I'm so
Broadway.
lost right
It's
now
about
in
5 in the
what
morning.
is
What are you
going
doing
on?
at a gas station?
Hello,
You
Mr.
gotta
Sir.
understand, bro. At the time, I had never had my heart given to a woman before. I had never had a child before. I never cared about any of my relationships like this. But
You got
Nike
some puzzle pieces
put it
to
on
put
me,
together,
man.
because I'm
Had
still
me in
thinking, you know what I'm
love.
saying?
I'm talking about that
What are we
royalty
talking
love.
about?
See, the thing about my baby
Why are we
mamas
talking
is they
about
both got the same
royalty
type of
and-
love. The type of love that drove me crazy.
And Nike right
Anyway,
now.
this ain't about that. But I do wish I had somebody to teach me about this type of stuff. Like, just teach me how to calm down and let people go. I've never really let anybody go.
Once you would see this so cool, you're stuck.
That's how it seems. And it's like, that's not a good trait to have. I've always wished I had the ability to let people do what they wanted to do. But for some reason, I always had to have control. I bought you this, I gave you that. When realistically, that doesn't change anything. When you're raised by two women, your grandmother and your great-grandmother, you can't really expect much more to be a man and then not be acting like a woman. Come on now. Now, I'm not saying I'm homo. Now, no diddy, please. But what I am saying is that I understand I moved with emotion all the time. So that's what I did. I chased her, I reacted, and I tried to prove my point. And the crazy thing is, I'm over there trying to argue about something that's already done. We was already broken up. And eventually at the gas station while we yelling at each other, I finally get her to come back to me. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna take you to my house and I'm not gonna argue no more as long as you come with me. And I did just that. We got in SpongeBob and I ain't say another word. She didn't either. But that's not peace. That's called tension. You know that feeling when you in the car riding home and ain't nobody talking, but you can feel it? Silence, ego, and pride.
Facts.
That's what that is. A combination of all three of those. Then we get in my house
That's
and she see
not
just as I told her,
healthy at all. That's not healthy. That's not good. That's not. I don't like that, me personally. I feel like it's better to talk about it than to be sitting there, like I said, in your feelings and mad and angry about a situation, you know what I'm saying, and holding it against the next month. I said, I'd rather, you feel me, talk about it, like I said, rather take a little bit of time. I know a lot of shit you can't talk about right away. Some things you definitely got to give it some time for sure, you know what I'm saying, but like I said, definitely not about to be in this bitch holding no small shit. It be the littlest things, you know what I'm saying? I'm telling, I've been around this shit, so I know it be the littlest things that motherfuckers would be. But like I said, I understand if it's something serious, you know what I'm saying? But like I said, something small, like, you know what I'm saying? Oh, I didn't stop and buy you a pair of shoes when I didn't bought you 3 pairs of shoes in a past month, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gonna have to be mad. You gonna be quiet on your way home all you want, you know what I'm saying? You ain't getting another pair of shoes to the next 3-4 months now. Fuck you talking about? Real life. You know what I'm saying?
So me and Nike sitting there chilling, and it seems like the tension is cooling down a little bit. I swear, this is how the universe works, y'all. They threw a curveball dead at me, and I had a chance to be a better man, but I chose to be, you know what, I'm not gonna tell y'all. Y'all gotta listen to the story. When Nike phone rang and I answered it, I heard a man voice. That's the first thing I heard, first of all. I said, yo, who is this? He gonna say,
she know who it is.
and that's when everything in me went left. And it wasn't because he had any power over me or nothing like that. It was because I was powerless. I did not know how to control myself in a situation I had already lost. Because it was 5 in the morning when he called. So clearly Nike wasn't for me no more. That was my reaction. How you going? It's me, CJ. I thought you loved me. What?
It's me, CJ. I thought you loved me.
You messing with the little fucker?
I thought you loved
I was
me.
lost for words, bro. And when she saw my energy, she did what every
I thought
mother
you
would
loved
have did.
me. Hold
She
on.
tried to get Kamari, and I started yelling at her, telling her to stop, bro.
She ain't going nowhere.
You know how men get. All of a sudden, my child ain't going nowhere when you just left the kid home alone. So we started arguing, right? And it's getting real chaotic up in there. Kamari wakes up, I ain't gonna lie. She starts screaming and everything. And in that moment right there, like I said, I had a chance. I should have thought to myself, this is just going overboard, bro. And it's all because of me. All I had to do was not answer her phone, not leave my kid at home alone, not go looking at her Facebook, stalking her, and not go chasing her around the city. Everything I did was because I was overreacting. She started yelling at me, talking about
overly greasy, gang. What you got going
She
on?
walks out my door. I grabbed Kamari and said, my daughter's not going anywhere. Mind you, Nike was drinking all night, having a good time. It's 5 in the morning. She's tired. She don't want to be doing this right now. The tension alone is enough to put anybody in stress. I yanked Kamari. She yanked back. Kamari's screaming, and we both dropped her. I tried to stop her. I tried to catch my kid, but I couldn't. I literally missed my daughter, bro. I watched my child fall. It was the worst thing I've ever heard in my life. The pain of my child's voice, the sound of her head cracking against the skull. Oh my God. Y'all don't understand, bro. This was one of them things I never thought I would talk about, but it's the reason why my daughter grew up the way she grew up. See, a lot of y'all see my child for what she has become, but you don't understand why. It's my fault. My kid, she goes out to these parties and she tries to have fun. She likes to dance, so that's something she finds fun in. My kid is growing up.
So bro is blaming himself. Okay, I don't really know what's going on. What happened? I thought this video was about Kai. I mean Rukai. Not Kai, Rukai. Let me correct that. I don't know what happened between them. If the beef between Rakai and CJ had something to do with Kamari. I think Rakai might be her age, if anything. So maybe he was trying to, I ain't gonna lie, he be trying to shoot his little shot. But like I said, I ain't gonna speak on that yet because I don't really know what happened. But I'm pretty much, like I said, putting pieces together. He been talking about Kamari the whole time, and his video is supposed to be about Rakai. So that's just me kind of putting pieces together, but I could be doing it too
Learning
early.
just like
So I'm
every
gonna
other
continue
kid
to
out
watch. I'm just trying to see what he trying to get at with Rakai though, because he haven't spoke about Rakai in about what 7 minutes to the video. We halfway through, so we gonna see.
here. She will one day be an adult, and then she will be able to hold herself accountable for her mistakes and actions. But right now, she's the same little girl that her parents fought over and accidentally dropped her on her head. And no, I'm not saying my daughter has Down syndrome or any type of head disease, because honestly, besides the scrapes that I saw on her head, besides the way her voice sounded when she screamed, besides the way her grandmother looked at me when she came to pick her daughter up and her grandchild, you wouldn't even be able to tell that any of this happened. But the people that were there that night, they know this is a real story. I had no control over my subconscious, so I didn't know how to react to any situation. It didn't matter what it was, I always overreacted. I really had no excuse. I just should have let them go. I had already lost. The guy that called baby mama, let me tell you about him. He ended up being the church drummer, which means every Sunday my baby mama went to church, she was gonna see him whether I liked it or not. And now, not only that, they was gonna have this story behind my back.
Remember when I called and your baby daddy answered the phone?
That's the life I had. So for those of you wondering, why did he move from Gary? That's why I moved from Gary. I'm not gonna disrespect her because she was not running around with the guy. The guy that called her phone, I
I
guarantee you.
forgot. He did live in Gary is not too far from me, but I think because I actually seen the other CJ, and I know they used to be close, so I feel like the other CJ is from Gary too, and he still be out there because I seen him at a gas station. There was a while back, like probably 3 years ago though. 2 to 3 years ago, I seen him at a gas station by my crib. I ain't gonna disclose where that location at, but like I'm saying, south side of Chicago, I ran into CJ on 32s, and I don't think they cool no more. I think that's his cousin, but I don't think they cool. I forgot what type of beef they got into it about, but yeah, you know what I'm saying? I didn't know CJ. I guess I did know, but I forgot CJ was from Gary too, though.
He never got to touch Nike. But
I
that's
forgot
besides
CJ
the
so
point.
cool
She
was
was
from
literally
Gary.
running around the streets. I chased her through the streets, so I know what I'm talking about. I lost her, and I loved her. I lost my child because I dropped her on her head, and from that moment on, I couldn't look at her the same. Every time I saw my kid, I saw my mistake. Every
It's a
time.
small
My
world,
mistake
too.
of
I ain't
having
gonna lie.
child
It's a
too
small
early with
ass
a woman
world.
that wasn't really ready to settle down, with a
He
man that
from-
wasn't really ready to
No,
settle down.
I
Having a
live
kid with
30,
someone that
not
I didn't
even
have a
30,
ring
like
on their finger.
20
Having a
some
kid with
minutes
someone
away
that
from
really
where
wanted
he
to be a
from.
kid
You know
still
what
and
I'm
go out
saying?
and have fun. And then having a kid without having the ability to control my actions and my decisions. The sound?
Shout out to the
Yeah,
rack.
as
You
can
know
imagine,
that.
it
It's
sounds like a
outside.
brick
You
hitting
know what I'm
another brick.
saying?
It sounded very bad. And the fact that this happened and it's real, and that Kamari is still alive, goes to show that God has special plans for her and me. When I ride around the city and I see my name on the back of trucks and on buildings, I say, Brady? Huh, that's funny. When I see Tom Brady, I say, Brady? That's funny. Wayne Brady? Brady? That's funny. You know, it's different from Williams. There's a lot of last names where people have, wait, actually, that was not intended. That is not intended. I'm gonna use a different name. Johnson. There's a lot of people named Johnson. You know what I'm saying? That is crazy, bro. For some reason, I just said 2 names that I'm familiar with, which both are common, but Brady isn't. And I'm not gonna say there's not nobody with the last name Brady, but just think about what I'm saying now. The universe is showing me what could be if I fix the insides of myself. So now that I am fixing the insides of myself, I can see the Brady family being dominant because of the change that somebody in the Brady family made. It doesn't have to be attached to me, but the change that I make could affect Kamari, CJ, and Daya, and they could make the change that affects their children, which are gonna be my grandchildren, and then the list goes on. And that's the point of life, evolution. Let's evolve. Let's get our family to the top. We don't have to stay at the bottom. But as my kids like to say,
I'm not good at that.
if you keep thinking you're not good at something or you don't deserve something, that's just what you're gonna get. Absolutely nothing. But the crazy thing is, all of this started happening a little bit too late, because honestly, this could have happened that night. That was my first sign from God telling me that I needed to change the way I moved and the way I reacted. But of course, because I did not realize that this was a sign or a lesson, I kept moving forward. As long as I ignore my daughter, because that's how I started to treat her. Now, after reading a few books and actually digging deep inside my own subconscious, I I realized I wasn't tainted forever. I had not lost my child or my ability to be a good dad. I wasn't a victim. I wasn't even misunderstood at all. I wasn't just young or nothing like that. I wasn't just sprung either. I was just wrong, dangerously wrong. And that night, I realized how wrong I was. And then everything starts to play back. And I can remember her grandma pulling up like it just happened yesterday. They looked at me like I just failed the SAT and the whole family was dependent on me type fail. And that shame that they gave me, that I practically gave myself, it changed the way I parented. It changed the way I treated my kids.
You a failure,
and I don't know if
nigga.
you've ever seen a video before of me and Kamari and the other kids, but it changed the way I treated her. I became one of the most distant parents ever. And I captured it all
in this
on
video.
camera.
Oh,
And I
this
ain't
an
gonna lie, at the
old ass
time,
video.
I didn't even realize it. I didn't know I was doing this, but I just know for a fact it was being done. But the truth really was, the day I dropped my daughter on her head, it made me realize that I didn't want to remember that at all. So yeah, instead of facing it, I put distance right in the middle of me and what was hurting me the most. That distance turned into awkwardness, and that awkwardness turned into straight up bad energy, man. I couldn't figure out what it was, but every time I had got around my beautiful child, I had the worst energy ever, and I used to tell her too.
Every time you come around, I lose something or something gets wrong with me. I don't know what it is about you.
So when people saw me being hard on my child and calling her a Riri or, you know, cutting her hair off when she was dancing at a party, it was because I was trying to bury something deep down inside me. I was trying to blame her for my unhappiness when really it was all on me the whole time. If I had never dropped her on her head, if I had never chased her mama through the city, then none of this would have ever happened. The crazy thing is, I've been lied on in the worst ways, and even the lie they told didn't affect me as much as dropping my kid on her head. But the fact that no one knew that I dropped my child on her head hurt me even worse, especially when I started apologizing to these other kids and all that, but I never told my child how sorry I was. And I can't even remember if I ever did or not. But it doesn't matter, because this way that I feel right now, this moment that I'm in, this evolution that I'm going through, it reminded me that I have a chance to fix everything, not just a bad relationship, but a bad upbringing of my own daughter. I'm gonna tell y'all the truth, man. When you're trying to bury some shame, it get ugly, and it does ugly things to good people. It makes you cold with the people you're supposed to love. It makes you all defensive all the time as if something's wrong. It makes you push away people that you owe the most. That was my kid. I was supposed to give her everything, not the money, but the love, the affection, the attention. Every time she flew to Las Vegas, I was supposed to show her more than just a big old house. I was supposed to give her more than just a power wheel.
This is me not hearing no news at all, so I don't know what he's talking about right now.
I tried to do that. Come on now, don't
I was literally looking for Rakai news, and I don't think he spoke on Rakai once this video.
Kamari didn't deserve that. She deserved patience, gentleness, awareness, kindness. She deserved a real father. I'm not gonna lie. I used to always say,
her mom got it, man. Yeah, her mom, they vibe better together.
No, it wasn't that. It was that her mom never left her. It was that her mom wasn't the reason she fell on her head, even though her mom was out partying that night. It had nothing to do with her mom, the reason that she grew up and potentially had something wrong with her because I dropped her on her head. So Kamari, I'm sorry. I'm sorry for my lack of being able to control myself. I'm sorry of distance between us for how many years? I'm sorry for all the times I spoke out of frustration instead of just giving you love. So many times I looked at you and just wanted to hug you, but instead I chose to yell at you out of anger. I'm sorry for all the confusion, and most importantly, I'm sorry for the pain you went through as a baby and as a teenager. A lot of people watching this video, they're gonna understand what I'm talking about too, Kamari. A lot of us grew up the same way, but the difference is a lot of us grew up like this and nobody ain't ever thought to apologize to us on camera or in person. But silence doesn't heal anything. That's what I found out. The truth heals everything though. So the reason I'm here apologizing to you is because I'm trying to heal a broken bond that I have created. I'm the reason that created the tension between us. I'm the one that put that distance there. And I'm sorry, baby girl, because you didn't deserve it. Being a parent is not just about being there. It's about being safe and being calm for your children. It's also about being healed enough not to just start bleeding all over your kids. They don't deserve the problems and issues that came from your relationship, especially if it's their mother. I'm not gonna lie. This story sounds real terrible, but I don't want y'all to think I'm a monster. But I did do some monstrous things that day. But that was back when I had no control over myself. I didn't know what I was doing, but I faced that.
And if it's like I said, somebody I feel like is good, you know, I'm gonna definitely do what I could to try to keep, you know what I'm saying?
The truth away. It comes from telling the truth and expressing yourself.
And I said people make mistakes, you know what I'm saying? I do understand people not perfect, so I'm not somebody who gon', you know, hold nothing against nobody for one mistake unless this is a repetitive, you know, it keep happening over and over, especially after multiple apologies. Yeah, at this point, you just talking.
If you're angry, anytime, today, right now, or even never, just always remember to breathe and think about what can go wrong if you decide to act or react on those emotions. And remember, just because you got hurt don't mean that you need to take that pain and give it to somebody else. Because sometimes the damage is irreversible. And I'm blessed, I swear. I'm glad that Kamari is okay. But I'm telling you, dropping her on her head did something to her. She was a perfect baby, and now all of a sudden, everybody just thinks she's not. And when I say
You
everybody,
might be
I'm talking
able
about y'all in
to
the
sleep
comment
after
section
this
that's
one,
always
but I'm
talking crap about my
gonna
kid,
try to do
Mario.
one more
For
video.
you, I want you
I
to
said
know
I
how much I
could
love you.
probably
Not
go
the
to sleep
fake
and lay
love,
down
not the
after this one,
camera
but I'm gonna
love,
try to
even though
find
this
one
is a
more
video,
short
but the
video
real
real
love,
quick.
the kind of
We're
love
gonna
that's
try to
ready to tell
upload
the
at least
truth,
one
kind
of
of
them. I
love that
might
takes
say the next one for the
responsibilities and make
morning.
changes in his life. And
Well, I
that's
might
exactly what
upload
I'm
them,
here to do.
upload them
So
both
the next
tonight and
time I
then
see you,
just do
Kamari,
another segment
on
in the
camera or
morning. But
not, I want to give you a better hug. I want to look at you in your face and actually tell you I love you, and I want to really mean it.
we might
And
just
I don't
drop
want any
this one
distance to
though.
be between us
I
anymore.
was
If you ever feel in any type of way,
so this
tell me,
video
because I'm
was
going to be
not
as calm
about
as
Cat.
possible when I
So go on and
respond.
clear that
And I'm
out the
going to
way.
always
This
listen to
video
you and
had
genuinely care
nothing to
about what
do
you
about
think and how you
Rakai.
feel. As from now on, just consider me your dad. In the past me, just call me CJ So Cool.
Apparently you can go from 0 to a complete
What
site
did
in
that
just
have
a
to do
single
with
prompt with
Rakai?
Wix Harmony. I don't know if this is going to be possible. Where vibe coding meets drag and drop freedom. We'll see about that. All right, let me try to make up a site to sell some like theoretical Sambucha kombucha. Make me a site about Sambucha kombucha. Make it look nice and pretty and
So that she
highlighting
doesn't grow
products.
up.
Refine my prompt. Okay, let's do
Wait.
that. All right, that's so much better. All right, generate my site. So now Arya, my AI assistant, is
What did we just react to? Like, hello? I'm not about to clickbait and say we reacted to him speaking on Kai because he didn't speak on Kai at all. I mean, not Kai, Rakai. But I'm gonna still, like I said, I'm gonna still upload the video. Pretty much an update with CJ So Cool and his daughter, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna just say with his family, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, yeah, he clickbaited that video because he didn't speak on Rakai not once. W clickbait though, you feel me? Other than that though, you know what I'm saying? That's it for that video. We is gonna tap into more content from CJ So Cool though. Like I said, he another content creator, kind of inspired me to get more into like, you know, watching videos and like I said, he was one of the first streamers I was watching. So once I was watching CJ So Cool, I started watching a lot of other streamers too. I was watching CJ So Cool way before I think Kai even blew up. I think CJ So he a OG. He been on YouTube probably about 20 years. So I've been watching CJ So Cool for a long time. But like I said, definitely, you know what I'm saying, somebody who inspired me to kind of get locked in on a lot of other YouTube content creators and streamers in general. Like I said, outside of that though, we kind of locking in on the content creation side now. We ain't just a viewer, we a content creator now. We a streamer. You know, other than that though, we gonna go ahead and get into the next video. I got like maybe one more left before we gonna call it for the night. We gonna get us some rest and then get back to it in the morning. My fault if I do sound a little drowsy, a little tired. I have been up all day. I had a long day. Outside of that, we've been grinding, putting out a lot of content, a lot of new videos, trying to pretty much find my comfort zone in the streaming. But like I said, yeah, I kind of got thrown off of that video because I was looking for Rakai and CJ. I have been seeing some. I'm not sure if it's clickbait. That's probably the clickbaited video that I've seen, but other than that, though, it is some type of tension because he did say something about not watching Rakai or something like that when I guess baby CJ was watching a Rakai video. Other than that, though, you know what I'm saying? We ain't gonna waste too much time. We gonna end that video off there. And then, like I said, I'm gonna try to find one more video I can react to, one more short video before we go end the night off. Outside of that, y'all keep up the love and support, like and subscribe. If y'all haven't already, turn on post notices, and I'll see y'all in the next video. We out.